Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Rants show. This is the sponge episode, not to be confused with SpongeBob. Although SpongeBob is a cultural icon and will probably have an episode of his own at some point. But I was in my kitchen today and I was washing a plate, and I realized that the modern sponge, has kind of been perfected. Now, I'm going to level with you. I do not own a scrub daddy, and I've never used a scrub daddy. So I cannot testify on its usefulness. But I can testify on the usefulness of a dish sponge. Now, what do I mean by dish sponge? I mean a sponge that is one side sponge and the other side, like that plastic, like texturized. You know what I'm talking about. For like scraping. It's for like titillating the dirt and the grime. Well, not dirt because it's a plate, but like the food, it really scrapes off the food and then use the sponge side to clean the plate. And this combination is the modern day version of yin and yang. Yin and yang, thousands of years ago, was evil inside good and good inside evil. Today, it's all about sponges, my friends. It is all about sponges. You need both sides. Both sides serve their own purpose. And to just have a sponge on its own is not good. And to have just a scraper on its own is not good. The sponge and the scrub are two sides of the same coin, like man and woman. You can't have a perfect society without both, you know? You can have a clean plate without both. So it's important. It's important to consider both and realize their shortcomings and their usefulness in certain situations. Think of pasta sauce. When you leave pasta sauce on a plate and it dries, it would take you forever to clean that pasta sauce off with just a sponge. But if you have a dish sponge where one side is the scrubber, like the plastic, they're not bristles, but like the texturized plastic scrubber, you can get that pasta sauce off no problem. No sweat. That is important. I'm a busy man. Time is money. Have you ever heard that? Time is money. Why are you wasting your time on inferior kitchen products? Stop that. Stop that. You need to consider all your options. That's your homework for tonight. After watching this episode, consider the practical use. You're not a pro dishwasher until you know the difference between sponge and scrubber. That's how you truly master the dish sponge. So I appreciate you listening to this, and I will see you tomorrow.